All right, we are live and we are here. And this is during Video Vixen Summer Mission. So if you're here and you've started that and you're rocking it, high five to you. And if you have not yet started it, that is so okay. I'm going to invite you to get a beverage of your choice, get yourself settled in and settled down. We are talking tonight. Not we're going to, we are right now. We're harnessing the energy. Depending on when you're watching this, we're right at the portal of the Lionsgate moon, which just means good fucking things are happening. Let's say it like that. So if you're ready to strut the stage, and really we're going to dive deep into the transformation of visibility, whether you're doing Video Vixen or not, does not matter. You can find out about that if you want to. If you're already in it, great. This pertains to today's prompt. So let's take a couple of deep breaths. You take a couple of deep breaths. Cooper's ready. I did make a tea in the other room, but I'm going to leave it there for now because it was too hot anyway. Okay. So get your notebooks, get your journal. This will be replayed, available for replay, not in the groups, but in the Icon Academy, in your Video Vixen course. So this is one of the bonuses. This is not my video for the day. Okay. So what we're going to do today, I love talking about visibility. I'm also a really big hider, and I come from a place of looking really cool on the outside, like everything is fine, but actually being fucking wreck on the inside. And so I'm going to show you how myself and how I got other clients who think in this work job mentality or having, being a follower, and going into your creative self and being more in your leadership role. And this is the process they use. I'm removing all the veils. This is my strut the stage process. This is part of the unconventional icon, and you're going to have it. I'm going to give you 3 major parts, 3 steps in doing it, and you can take it and do it yourself. And along the way, of course, I'll share with you how you can work with me. What I'm offering tonight is a truth booth session where we're going to do this process together. But in the meantime, if you're great at doing things by yourself, you can do it by yourself too. Okay, so we're going to talk about living into your ideas, right? We talked today about how you want to bring your ideas from your journal or your head onto the stage, whatever that stage is. And it's all about taking risks and strutting the stage when you don't feel ready. So if that's you, I don't know where my comments are. Here they go. Here they go. Here they go. Okay, great. If that's you, I want you to know that it's so important to remember that's not right. You are ready. But if you don't feel ready, you're not alone. The world doesn't feel ready. Everybody feels like a fucking fraud. And you know what? Some people feel like a fraud and do it anyway. I want to take that off. Okay. Yay. So if you're here, put up a yay. Y-A-Y showing up. I'm going to get up impulsively in a couple of minutes and get my tea. But anyway, for now, taking your ideas to the public is so vulnerable. So when you are visible, when you're seen, now, if you're watching this and you're doing the Video Vixen Challenge, great. We're talking about expansion. If you're in these groups and if you're watching on YouTube, wherever you're watching, and you have hiding that lasts too long, that's the problem. Hiding is good. Bears go into hibernation. Birds fly away and hide for the summer. So it's important to hide, but important to know when to not stay in hiding. So we're going to talk about visibility. And to me, this means your stage, your strutting of the stage can be an actual stage. It can be a video stage. It can be a conversation. So make it work for you. So I want you to know about 3 specific moments. So I have a client She never wants to show up. Her inner teenager is always convinced somebody's going to be mean, somebody's going to reject her, and someone's going to throw her out. And she started a huge wave of powerful opportunities being sent her way when one night she went to karaoke when she really didn't want to go. She was tired. She was cranky. She felt bad. She thought, like, what the fuck is karaoke going to do for me? Then she got there. They fucking started late. Like, everything was pointing in the direction of going home. But she didn't. She used the strut the stage process, and then she got 3, and I just found out about 3 more opportunities to do cool shit. And one of them was to be a live DJ, and she did it. And that was a dream of hers. She did some of it a little bit in the pandemic. But when you strut the stage and you have the encouragement, anything is possible. The second moment I want to share with you is another woman I worked with. She was so sick of being scatterbrained. And I'm sharing these with you so that you know you're in the right place. And instead of changing her scatterbrain and making her scatterbrain wrong, I just gave her a new title and said, oh, you're multi-passionate? And she turned her overwhelm into doing what she loves because she stopped being so fucking hard on herself. And that same woman ended up teaching an amazing live class. She never taught a class before in this. She was a speech and language therapist with little kids. And then she was teaching vision boards. And she's like, I never taught this before. I feel stupid. People think I'm an idiot, all this shit. But because I helped her reframe, oh, you help sensitive people, right? Kids who have speech and language problems, they're sensitive. They don't like to be yelled at. They don't like to be part of a group. They don't feel welcome. They feel stupid. They're stuttering and all this stuff. And now she's working with older women who also feel stupid. So she's working with different populations, but she's been in the field of teaching for a long time. So her fraudulent, the things that she thought she was being fraudulent about, complete bullshit. So we're going to talk about reframing. We're going to talk about how the power of visibility gets you to stop fucking hating on yourself. Okay. In this training, I'm going to tell you about 3 main parts of strutting the stage. And I want you to know, and this is news you already fucking know, being consistent instead of being motivated is the importance here. Being consistent instead of being motivated. Do you understand how fucking cool that is? That means you could feel like shit. You don't have to believe in yourself, but be fucking consistent anyway. We're taking perfection and we're throwing it the fuck out the window. We're replacing it with a sexy system. Why is it sexy? Because it's going to turn you fucking on. It's not going to turn your cock or your pussy on. You're just going to be turned on to life. So I want you to know, showing up, how am I going to say this? Showing up ready enough. You're not super ready. You're not an expert, but you're showing up enough so that only you can believe that you got some good stuff going on. You really just only need to convince yourself. So here's the first of 3 parts of strut the stage. Number 1, write this down, willingness. It's so important that you're willing. I'm willing to show up. Feeling unready, my eyes twitching, can inspire other people. And mostly you can inspire yourself. So you can feel and see your courage, your determination. And then you're like, holy shit, I did that. Even if your mind is like, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. So write down willingness. I love art. I always have a pink pen around. Or some stickers, whatever you want, but get creative. Number 2, support. Having supportive friends, family, or maybe one or the other, or both if you're lucky, family, mentor, or colleagues. Maybe there's people that, hey, I also want to do that. I'm on Wi-Fi. All right, I'm going to keep it. But if I break up, will somebody tell me? Yes, that's beautiful. I love that you said that. I'm going to highlight that. I'm still learning how to work this. Being visible gets you to stop hating yourself. Thank you for articulating that. Oh, good. Karen is here. Everyone else, it says Facebook user. That's why I'm not saying hello. Okay, so first, willingness. Second, support. Having people around that you know that they know you, they love you, they trust that you're doing things good. They're going to point out strengths and achievements. And that is something impossible for you to do for yourself, especially when you're doing something new. The number 3 is validation. I fucking think it's stupid and it sucks. Okay, thank you. When people say, well, I don't always need outside validation. Well, how about when you're trying something new? When you're doing something new, yes, you do need outside validation. When we used to live in tribes and teams and we shared homes and we shared tents, we needed each other. So don't act like you can do it by yourself and do it alone. We need each other's validation. You did a great job. I had so much fun. I learned so much. You all give it to me because you're trained. That's how we relate to each other, if you haven't noticed. Okay, so that's 3 things: willingness, support, and validation. And here's the coolest thing: when you get positive feedback, you could think, well, they know me and they love me, so they have to be nice. That is the part of your brain that trusts nobody, which I call the inner teenager or the hag. But what it does is it reinforces your self-worth for the other parts, and it helps counteract the feelings of inadequacy. So we as humans, sensitive beings, mind fuckers, so I'll say, empaths, we have been trained that we're not enough. You've seen that. Every coach talks about that. Every preschool teacher, every teacher knows it's really important to do that, but they have their own stuff. And so sometimes they just go around making children feel bad. So I want you, and this is what Strut the Stage is, it's a system so that you can't deny your own greatness. After you take action, you can't deny your own greatness. And that's why I'm so excited about this system. And so far, the people that I know that are on here, well, just Karen so far, have experienced strutting the stage. So if you're tired of waiting for the perfect time, I'm going to tell you what gets in most people's way, and you're going to get a little annoyed, just so you know. So if you're annoyed waiting for this divine timing and, there's some confusion of when to start, some overwhelm, and now it's been weeks and months and this energy is moving fast and the time spent is starting to really piss you off. So let's say you talked about a problem or a situation in the last video vixen, which was in December, and now you're still kind of complaining about it. That's a problem. And time is moving very fast. So I'm going to show you how to use this Strut the Stage using 3 steps to take better control of your life. So it's not 6 months later and you're like, because some people don't even realize that they're still complaining about the same thing. So instead of waiting for motivation, you're going to be more concerned with consistency. And that's going to become a game. So you're like, oh my God, I want to be consistent. P.S. That's what we're doing here in Video Vixen. You might not be motivated today. You might not be motivated on day 12, but you're consistent. So by the way, we're all doing Strut the Stage as we speak, but these 3 steps are going to help you do it over and over and over and not wait for December. So if you're running blah energy and you're stagnant, instead of feeling momentum energy, and this is not fake it till you make it. This is not good or bad. This is all about being fine. We don't do fine. Fine is boring, and fine will make you get up and drag yourself in the day. And Karen's a great example. Karen gets on the live and she's like, fabulosity. And you're just like, I'm creating a song. Guess what? Now make it a music video. Guess what? You want to be in it? Like always creating, always putting herself out there, always doing something. And whether you know it or not, you're using a certain system. So I want to ask you right now, and you can write yes or no, replay or not. Do you currently have a system in your life to feel good and to turn your days from going fine to fabulous and fantastic? Or do you think about feeling fabulous, but you're really just mind fucking and fixing problems all the time, which is fine? So, which one are you these days? Well, first of all, I want you to type yes or no if you have a system in your life to feel good and to turn your days around from going fine to fabulous. Like, do you have a system that you actively do, or are you just kind of like passively waiting around to feel motivated? It's a really important question. Sorry, Koopy. Okay, great. So you could type yes or no for that. And I want to tell you right now, as I said a moment ago, I'm giving you my system. I use it for myself and I use it with all my clients. And it's the third stage of my big system, which is the unconventional icon. And this is fucking transformative. Okay, here we go. You ready for the 3 steps? Let me check in with the comments. Yes. Take a shower and get dressed. Hot. You're coming in fine. Great. So I don't know what that means. Like, so Karen's system is she takes a shower and get dressed. She's highly motivated on her own and she's consistent. Whatever your system is it working for you? Like, are you doing the things that you want to be doing? Or is it like nighttime and you're like, okay, I guess another day went by? You know, being really mindful of that kind of stuff will have you craving a system. Number 1 of the system, I love this one and I'm really good at it. Reframe. So somebody posted the other day on their video vixen. How do I get rid of these things? Okay. Basically, she's like, I don't really have a passion. I've done this for 20 years. I've done this for 20 years. And I've done this for 20 years. I could talk about it for an hour, but I don't really care. So I reframed it and I was like, are you a really good organizer? She said, yes. Are you a really good people person when they have problems? Again, she said, yes. So now she has 2 things that she doesn't like where she's doing them. She doesn't like the work situation where she's doing them. But who here gets high on organization? Me. Who here gets high on managing people? Me. So she can take that anywhere. So we all have skills, but if you're walking around feeling like a poopy pants and you don't like what you do, you might just not like your environment, right? Let's say you're an artist, but you went to art school and art school made you feel really bad. Well, what about you can be a freelance artist? What about bringing your art to different beauty parlors and coffee shops and having it hung up? Like there's different ways to reframe your situation that you're not happy in. Okay. So let's read some of the answers here. So no, a haphazard system mostly works, but not a consistent organized one. Thank you for sharing that. I asked if the video was fragmenting. I definitely did not ask with those words, but I wanted to know if it was working good. So I guess I have no idea. Okay. I'm horrible with organizing. Great. So I want to let you know, I used to be when I didn't like what I was organizing, right? When I was a board of ed teacher and they were like, give me a lesson plan, I never handed it in. I bullshitted my way 6 years. Maybe doing it, maybe not doing it. I don't have it right in front of me. Organize my business. I love it. Organize my clothes. I love it. Picking something to use a system that you like. You watch yourself go from lazy to fucking highly motivated. And here's the thing. Motivation does not come right away, but consistency will bring you there. Okay. Number 1 step, write it down, reframe. Getting your brain on board means you're going to take the action with your body And then your brain gets on board. Okay, I'm glad the video is working great. So you want to reframe and get different perspectives. And you get different perspectives by speaking to the right people. So when you want to transform your life and you have the benefits of speaking to the right people, you can see challenges as opportunities. So write that as an affirmation, and you can even type it in the chat. I see challenges as opportunities. Okay. Second piece is you want to shift this negative situation into a positive one with creativity. So if you're saying, oh, my life isn't working, it's kind of haphazard. And if that's okay with you, fine. But I tend to think that people who are sensitive just don't have something in their life that's working. Because basically, if something works, we do it. It's haphazard when it doesn't really work. So if somebody says to me, Shane, why don't you go dipping in the ice water in the fucking winter? I would say, fuck no. But you know what worked about that? Being in community at 8 or 9 in the morning. So guess what? I went. It worked. So and then a system was formed, but it didn't form by thinking about it. Okay. Because if I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking also of, I don't want to do that. That's uncomfortable. That sounds like shit. Oh, I don't want to do that. But you know what? I dragged my butt out of bed. I'm not a morning person naturally. And then I got physically mega uncomfortable in the fucking ocean in the winter, in December, in January, in February, in March. And then I had more optimistic outlook, and I reframed and harnessed the power and had positive experiences with something uncomfortable. I went to that ocean and I strut the fucking stage in the ocean. You get what I'm talking about now? So life is complex. And to navigate these complex situations, you need a system that has nothing to do with anybody else. And consistency is part of that. But a reframe comes from saying, I'm open, I'm curious, maybe, instead of, no, that's not going to work for me. No, I'm not going to have kids. No. Like if you say no to something you really want, you're killing yourself. So harnessing the power from being, I spoke to someone today who had that situation. She's on my mind, but I don't want to speak about it right now. It feels very fresh. So we harness the power and use a reframe. And sometimes it's as simple as this. So if you have a negative statement in your head, you're like, I can't do that. Yes, beautiful, Karen. I can't do that. I want you to raise up the pink string in the air. And instead of saying, I can't do that, I want you to replace it with, I'm curious if I could do that. What if that can get done? I want you to turn it into a question. Okay? Because that is going to trigger a different part of your brain. So the reptilian part of your brain is fight or flight, yes or no, live or die. If you want something, I want you to get curious about it. And that starts with the reframe. Okay. Now you're open. Second step, action. You knew that was coming up. I know you knew that was coming up. So when you conquer the fear or you get through the self-doubt, you choose the right space to be proactive and you show the fuck up. And each stride forward, regardless of hesitation, regardless, you take the weed whacker and you fucking chop. Then you see the next step and then you chop. So tiny steps, tiny actions. You physically affirm that readiness emerges from doing. Okay. My teacher would always say to me, through the actions, I come to life. Write that as an affirmation. Through the actions, I come to life. How are we doing on time? Perfect. Through the actions, I come to life. Not after people say yes. The shittiest thing I see people doing on the internet is saying, if I had an event for a full moon in Leo, would you come? That's fucking stupid. No one's going to answer that. If I had a business about dating, would you hire me? Do it. Got to jump in. But you got to know which actions are going to be best for you. So they have to be based on the reframe. And they have to be small enough that our precious egos won't get totally crushed. This is where I come in. But if you want to do this on your own, go right ahead. Or maybe you're already doing it. Number 2, action. So the first step, let's review. Reframe. Reframe what you're saying you can't have, you can't do, you're not getting, into an affirmative way of thinking about it, a different perspective. Then you go into action. Guess what? You're going to have through lines that get you through awkward moments. You're going to figure out ways to have conversations so that you're not saying, do you like me? Will you hire me? Do you want to be my friend? Do you love me? Because nobody likes those questions and your ego definitely doesn't. So you're going to avoid them. So I want you to know that each time you waste moments when you have a good idea, but then you get whiplash, fear whiplash, and it right away, you're like, no way, not doing it. That was stupid. I shouldn't have even thought that. It's just like every other stupid idea I've had. And you just get beat up by your fucking self. First of all, calling in compassion for yourself, calling in some kindness when you're trying, when you're thinking, when you're wanting to do something new. Please be fucking kind to yourself. I don't have that here in the step, but that is exactly what you need to do. Do not shoot yourself in the foot. It's so poopish. Okay. So I want you to know every time you step forward and you do something and you forge this path with your nunchucks, through these actions, you come to life. And that's where momentum gets ignited. That's where you're able to amplify and seize the opportunity. And also, slipping away time really sucks. So the red flag, or the pink string, because that's what I have near me, is I can't have that. When you hear yourself saying, I can't have that, I can't do that, it's too late for me. Oh, well, you know your red flags. So what are your red flags when you have a good idea? What are your stop signs or your red flags or your pink strings? I'm going to share some in a minute, but for me, let's see. I see challenges as opportunities. I'm curious to see if I could sing my jingle instead of hiring someone. Of course you can. Yes, you can. And you know what? It's going to be you. It's going to be great. You know, it's like when we get to the clearness of why am I doing this? Like, do I want to have a jingle on national television? Or do I want people to think I'm awesome and self-expressed and hire me because I'm doing great things and because I'm having fucking fun? Option number 2. Okay, so the red flag, I can't have that. I can't do that. It's too late for me. Or yours might be, it's not the right time. I've got too much going on right now. I'm already overwhelmed. I'm going to talk about that after, but I want to give you the third step. The third step is called fancy feedback. And the only way you know if you're ready is to do it and collect this information. So the second step is action. And the third step is getting feedback, being open to feedback, and not only in business. So I want to tell you about my client named G. She had a major drinking problem that she spent about 6 months working on it. She was about to be 40 and she started really talking about having a baby and getting married. I was worried, but she was clean-ish. She was clean for 6 months. She didn't drink or do any drugs. She had therapy. She had all that shit going on. But she started talking like, I'm going to get married and have a baby. And her family and friends were like, ready to stage an intervention because they were worried that she was like flying off the deep end. So we coached together. This was about 8 years ago. She was obsessed and she was full throttle, taking action, apps, dating. And on her first date, she's like, I want to get married and have kids. Like she was fucking no holds barred. And she was about to be 40. So there was a biological time. She wanted to birth a child. So when you know it, this fucking G, she got married and had a kid. And now it's 12 years later. And she's doing the whole mom, creative wife life. She's doing great. She's got problems for sure. But this situation that she wanted to call in, she did it. She strut the fucking stage. Now, I always think about her because there are so many women. I'm 47, about to be 47 in a couple days. Birthing a child, not a goal. I met a woman who's a dipper. She's 49 and just had a kid. Is it rare? Yeah. Is it possible? Apparently. But when I think about G, so it was 12 years ago. I can't do the math, but I was young and I was like 40. Whoa, she better hurry up. Like I was like, what the fuck? We got to get on this. I got my inner firefighter was like, yeah, we got to do something. Anyway, she did it. She's still married and her kid's 12. He's lovely. Or Teresa, this was really a trip. So she lived in London. We met through a money program. She was like, I want a green card to the US. And she had problems in the past, which really fucked up her belief system. And I was like, oh my God, can she really do this? So she had trouble. She was working corporate and it leaked out one day that she was a DJ. We worked together for 5 months. Strut the stage. Not only did she get a green card, she now lives in New York City and she DJs for corporate events. What the fuck? My eye is twitching again. So I just want to share with you, as your enchantress, I really help your overthinking, sensitive, mostly hiding, loving self-development, achieve a life that you really love. And here's why. I want more friends that are living large. Basically, it's important that you wake up and you love your fucking life, right? When people talk about like, what's your intention? What do you want when you go to a moon circle or you do this and that? Stop making your big intention or your big desires from your to-do list. That is not a desire. A desire is something that scares you a little bit. So many women speak their desires and it's a to-do list. So I am your enchantress to help you get to the bigger thing. Maybe you're already rocking and rolling. What's bigger than that? Right? So maybe you're already doing video vixen. What's bigger for you? I want you to have a well-rounded life. You're going to have a business. How about you're going to have a great sex life? How about you're going to have deep ass, beautiful women friends? How about you're going to have a home that you love that's organized and amazing? Okay, great. I also can't see who's typing. So you can just write, if you write hi Shane, you can write hi Shane, and then write your name. Okay, so if you're overthinker, if you're sensitive and you're mostly hiding, and you can hide in plain sight, I do it sometimes, and you love self-development, your goal is to live a life where you wake up and you fucking love your life and you can feel in total control of your power and your genius and you know how to turn your light on with passion and you're not waiting for motivation. So let me ask you this question, and I really want you to answer this, so take a moment. Why does feeling in control of your power and your genius with a bright light, why does that matter to you? Why does it matter to you to live a life and control who you are in this world and to show up with power, to show up with genius? Like, why does it matter? I love this question because it's so basic. It's so profound at the same time. And then we're going to do a journal question in a moment. Why does it matter to love your fucking life? I'll say it like that. Okay. I'd love to know why. You can also write that in your journal. It's a big question. Maybe just write down the question and answer it later. Okay, so now I want to know, are you a sensitive, self-development, mindfuckery genius? Type yes if you are. Okay, cool, Greg. I love that question. Yeah, you can type whatever you want. Okay, we got a yes. Great. So if you're a sensitive and you're into self-development, but you're also a little bit of a mind fucker, which means you think a lot. And of course you think a lot because you have a lot of information about yourself. So if I offered you a system to reframe, to get your mind fuckery to stop long enough for you to strut the stage, and no matter how much your mind told you, no, you're not ready, or you just feel like you're flittering all over the place, but you could then strut the stage with passion, focus, clarity, and you knew what steps to take next. And you were clear as fuck about that. Would you take me up on that offer? Oh, what's up, Tom? Good. You could type yes in the comments. Okay, I'm going to save the journal question. Okay, so let's talk about bullshit versus strut the stage. Yes, amazing, Karen. So most people, here's a couple of reasons why. So the first one is, I wrote these down because I looked them up. So isolation. People say, I'll just do it alone. 80% of people do not have a life that they love. Now, random people were polled. This isn't like a big poll. Great. Like, I fucking love my life, right? So we talked about fine and fabulous earlier. If you're fine and you're okay with fine, you might not be in the right place. But if you're doing these things in isolation, let me just do it alone. That is an old school belief that will make you think like, oh, I'm more successful. I'll just do it alone. You cannot do it alone because a lot of the shadow, the things that you don't see about yourself that aren't working, cannot be seen. So it's hard to get out of it. Number two reason people do not have a life they fucking love, or they want to push their edge or do their big dream. No time. There's like, I'll wait for a better time. There's when I'm less busy. And then all of a sudden you're 65 and you'll be saying the same thing when you're 75. And all of a sudden you're like, oh shit. Okay. The third one is past failures. A lot of people I work with build a case study about how shitty they are. Oh, I've had past things. It didn't work then. It's not going to work now. But there's no time like right now. And if you listen to Louise Hay, you know that there is no time like the present moment. The present moment is the most powerful. And I am no positive Pollyanna, but I definitely know there are things that I've done in the past that didn't feel good and things that I do now and they feel amazing. And I'm the same person, but I'm very shifted and different. And the last one is the feeling of uncertainty about your abilities can make you hesitant to begin. It's like low confidence versus you build confidence with actions. As a kid, we had low confidence because maybe there was nobody around that was supportive. You know what I mean? So like in the beginning of this, when I talked about willingness and support and validation, if you don't have these three parts, forget it. You're fucked. So this is about the commitment to take tiny, small actions, to be consistent towards your, I fucking love my life, and recognizing these excuses when they come up and addressing them so you can break through and really get to the big desires you want, not the fucking to-do list. So I want you to type in the comments right now, I fucking love my life. I fucking love my life. Like, write that, type it, see if it feels true in your body. The body does not lie. Oh my God, I'm getting sweaty saying that. Okay, I fucking love my life. I'm going to type it in the comments too because it's such a good one. Fucking love my life. Ooh, I wonder how that works. Yes, yes. Type it more. Type it more. Oh, Facebook. Okay. Learning as I go here. Yeah, I'm learning as I go. Okay, great. And this is why Strut the Stage is so powerful. So instead of spending all your time trying to figure shit out, and the only thing you can get back is time, or let's say you share your idea with someone and we all did it in Video Vixen, but you shared it with so many people and now you're kind of bored by it. By talking about it, you've minimized it. So when it's a genius idea and it's living in your head, it's so big and grandiose. And then when you share it, it starts to get smaller and funkier, and then you let it go. Or you're running around in life, you get exhausted, and then, oops, there's no time. Who's guilty of those three? I am. So if you're ready to get off, I want to close on time. If you're ready to get off this fucked up roller coaster of mind fuckery or just doing a lot of things, but they're not cohesive, and you're running on the stage, but then you're running off of it, I'm going to offer you what I'm offering you tonight is a truth booth session with me. And I'll take you through the process of Strut the Stage. You're going to ramble and I'll interrupt so that you feel the willingness and we will do the reframe. Next, you'll take an action and get information. And then the second part of the truth booth, we meet twice. You're going to create your no bullshit action steps, your next steps. And the price is $222. And you get 2 sessions of 22 minutes. Okay. And we're going to use this system. Fucking love my life. Great, great, great. Yes. Yes. You gave me aging icon. I love my life. Yes. Karen, you are the aging icon. Like you can have aging icon awards. Why don't you have an award ceremony? Could be on Zoom. I don't know. Anyway, just talking shit. But ideas are always flowing. So I love watching people strut the stage before they're ready because it is literally an opportunity to get high. Like the endorphins and all of the positive brain chemicals that ordinarily are dormant if you don't get them up and moving. And all of a sudden you're like exhilarated. And it means different things for different people, right? So for Karen, she wasn't new to her business, but when she was doing the rambling, I was like, "Oh, you work with icons." Boom. It was one session. We didn't work together for 6 months. One session. She did it during Video Vixen. We did a one-off, which is available for everybody. And just listening, that's what I pulled out. And now she has like a whole media, not media, like a what's it called? Mogul. She's like a mogul. She's got a jingle and this and pens and merchandise and clients and books and success stories. She's been on an actual stage. She speaks forever, but she's been on an improv stage, which really pushed an edge. So the invitation is for a truth booth session. You're going to ramble. The first session, you're going to ramble. We're going to reframe so that you get willing. You're going to take an action, get information, and then we're going to do the second part of the phone Zoom where we create your next action steps based on the action you took. So it's two sessions of $222 for both sessions. Basically, it's $111 a session, and each session is 22 minutes. And I cannot help but think, you give me 22 minutes, I'll give you the world. Oh my God, that is such a great old slogan. So that's what I'm offering today. Truth Booth, Schwitz. I'm sweating. When I talk about this stuff, I get so hot. It's like passion runs through me. Rah. Okay. So, depending on where you're watching this and when you're watching this offer will still be available. But for right now, where I am in my world and where we are in the summer, I'm offering 4 of these. Oh my goodness. Oh, hi, Cooper. Yay. I'm offering 4 of these sessions by the end of Video Vixen. So that means get your butt on it. This is the first training of Video Vixen. There will be more. If the 4 sessions are bought and taken up, then there'll be something else offered. But for now, what you need to do, I'll put up the link, although it's on StreamYard, so I don't really know. Anyway, let's see if it works. And this could be on anything. You know, when I write Dear Enchantress, it's not just about business. It's about relationships. It's about family. It's about communication. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing this a little backwards, but I'm going to do a quick review. Oh, look, there I am live. Ding, ding, ding. Doesn't want to be there. Okay. So we have 4 truth booth sessions. It's a very low commitment. You know, you do this session and then we never have to work together again. Or perhaps you, like Karen, will get a fucking big bomb idea and you're like, oh my goodness, I do not want to have whiplash of fear. Will you please support me on this? But we don't have to, that's just to be continued. Okay. So I want to thank all of you for showing up for this Strut the Stage, transforming the transformative power of visibility. And I want to give you the 3 parts and the 3 parts of the system. Okay. Willingness, support, and validation. I said I wasn't going to do this, but that's okay. That's the main parts. And then the first step is reframe. The second step is action. And the third step is fancy feedback. Got it? And I'm offering the Truth Booth session, and I hope you take me up on it. And this will now live in Video Vixen. So if you want to search for the replay, that's where it will be. Thank you so much for showing up. What I'd love to do, if you I just got like, what the hell is this? I don't know. Who the hell are you? So if you are interested in, wait, let me gather myself. I'd love to know what my question is before I read this weird comment is, what did you get from this? Like, what are you feeling right now? You could do a right now, I feel. What did you get from this? You spent time. What value did this give you? Like this person showed up. I don't know who they are. Oh, they're on YouTube. Cool. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you're here. I can't answer this question because you're interrupting. The stage, there's the title on the bottom here. This is new for me, you guys, because I decided to add it. Okay, great. So I'm going to end that.